Phoenix Wright and Twilight is accusing you!
Objection! You are the killer! We still don't know who the killer is in that. Do you hear this music as well? Or you don't hear this one? Wait.
Maybe you can make introductions now.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking. But yeah, hello everybody. I'm Takeshy, and I have Quill with me again. Hi, Quill.
Takeshy?
It's funny how
And audience watching us?
it's funny how everything is cut off, and all I heard from you was Takeshy. So yeah, we are here with more Ace Attorney and the Rampy crossover. Element of Justice. I mean, not what you see right now. It's gonna be another thing. But we need something to play in the background while we are doing this. So yeah, this is gonna be another long one, right? The window is 1.5 hours long. So knowing us, it's gonna be at least 3 hours.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know if Kill is gonna be here for the full time because he hasn't slept yet. But yeah, we are probably gonna get a trial this time, which is the second trial of this case. And we still have no idea who the killer is. Come on.
Or even if that character's introduced, but I got one suspect at least.
We don't know if it's a hang or not. But yeah, we are probably gonna have a little recap. So let's get to it. I'm gonna full screen it for you. So you can see it as well. And let's continue. Element of Justice. No, we are not getting a recap at all. It's already the next day. Ah. Love the little picture with Celestia and the mayor.
Ponies can walk in dreams now?
Holly, at some point you're going to have to accept that this is how this world works.
Easy for you to say.
Never
I mean,
that
she's a
part.
magician, easy for
Athena,
her.
You're saying that Luna also wants what we want, to ensure Sweetie Belle gets a non-guilty verdict.
Yeah. And that she thinks the true culprit is either Fair Devotion or Sugar Stamp. Possibly both of them.
Okay, this is already a problem. Luna thinks that one of them is the killer.
Yeah, it's possible she can also miss her assumption too.
Yeah, at
And
least that is what she said to Athena.
Right. I'm assuming that she is assuming.
And I'm assuming that she already knows who the killer is, and is still leading. That's why I was so surprised about Equity comes up. Accusing Luna of, oh, she is so evil, you don't trust her.
You very likely have a good point that Equity was going to be the prosecutor against was it Turning Page?
Yeah, that's Sweetie Belle. Not Sweetie Belle, Scootaloo.
Scootaloo.
And if she was, she would have closed the case by now, easily.
There's certainly strong evidence to suggest at least one was directly involved.
Yes? You wanted to say something? In the
More
meantime?
thing, Athena was not that too skilled at this yet.
No, she was my lawyer. She just got her badge.
Getting experience points now, and I already said that she gained a level the last episode.
Yeah. Or maybe two.
Mhm.
But what do you think, Athena?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think,
Yesterday,
Athena?
I was still a bit uncertain. But after having that dream, I think I have a better idea. Nothing
Oh.
definitive, boss. But I think that this trial will lead us to the answers we need.
Still, if Princess Luna believes Sugar Stamp or Fair Devotion are guilty, the defendant being Sweetie Belle puts her in a rather difficult situation. It sounds like she'll be relying on us once again to reveal Sweetie Belle's innocence, like she did with Turning Page and Scootaloo.
I mean, no, you are the
Though
defendant, Tony.
exactly how she plans on doing that, we don't know. It's probably best not to dwell on
Well,
that for now. If last night's dream
If you
taught me
do prove
anything,
Sweetie's
it's that
innocence,
we are
at
on
least
the
narrows
same
down the
side.
target about the
That's
guilty party.
Yes. It does. And we know what happened in the forest, kind of. Not fully. But if she actually used the helmet and the armor to scare away the... what is it called? The
Timberwolves.
Timberwolf. I know it was a wolf, I just don't remember what kind of wolf it is. Then it means
Was it
that
was a timber squirrel?
he was already dead by then.
Yeah. Is Sweetie Belle covering for him?
Or he was not wearing the armor anymore. We don't know yet.
Not all though.
Just a little
After
surprised
last
at
night,
how uncooperative
something
Sweetie's
that
being.
Luna and Twilight said to each other at the start
Yeah,
of this
something
week's
is-
trial makes
she's
a
still
lot more
hiding.
sense.
Ah, Twilight Sparkle. I heard that you would be assisting the defense today.
Heard? I think it's more likely that you found out during your nightly stroll.
Nice
Am I
story, yeah.
right?
Is that why Twilight was up late the night before? Did Luna speak to her, like, with me? What for? And if so, why did Twilight feel the need to hide it? Not to mention,
Because Twilight might not...
why would I have detected so much discord over such a small lie? Forget it.
she might have not been
Concentrate on
trusting of
case,
you
not
either.
this.
I can tell you're a bit calmer today than you were yesterday. Here's hoping you could take that composure with you into the trial.
I hope so too, boss. But, actually... Hey, Twilight.
What is it, Athena?
Yeah, you should clear that the
Been
troll
through a
first.
lot, haven't we?
Yes?
And I've hurt you before because of a lot of my recent actions, and
Athena, you don't have to apologize again. I already told you. I understand, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't going to apologize again. I mean, not that I don't still feel ashamed of what I did, but after I accused Zakor in the first half of yesterday's trial, you told me that even though I'd opened up some very old wounds, you'd stand with me in court. I really appreciated that. I didn't get a chance to tell you before, but after we heard yesterday what Mr. Wright did to get disbarred, and how he felt during that trial, I realized that doing everything on my own, or thinking I had to, that was what messed things up.
You know why I'm laughing, right?
No.
People might not know, but we just watched episode 13. Now you know why I'm laughing.
Of MLP, for those
Yeah.
who don't know. Which was an episode he happened to skip because he wasn't aware of it. It was apparently not on some list. But when he noticed it, we went back and recorded it just earlier tonight.
Yeah, and that was literally one point of the whole story that you don't have to do everything on your own.
I was wrong.
So Twilight
But now
forgot
I-
that lesson in this episode as well.
No, it was Athena. This time it was Athena. But she never learned this before.
prepared to make up for it. And I wanted to, I guess, share the same sentiment you shared with me that day.
Athena?
In a sense, Athena is very much like Twilight. If you think about that. I Cora.
Oh, in what way are these similar from your perspective?
Yeah, because she always wants to do things on her own. And needs a lot of time to learn that, oh, wait, I have friends and I can rely on. This is basically what the first episode of MLP, or second, where she learns, oh wait, I have friends.
Okay. That'd be interesting to see the Ace Attorney team all of a sudden announce the friendship lesson they learned today.
I mean, I think they did announce in the game that, so you have learned.
Is that with
You said you'd
Celestia in the
stand with me in
background?
court no matter what. Well, I want to promise that I'll stand with you in court too. Come hell or high water, we'll face it together. That is, if you'll still stand with me today.
There you
don't
go.
even have to ask.
Well, it would be nice to know.
Of course I'll stand with you, Athena. You're my friend, after all. And this time, I'm confident that we'll uncover the truth. Together.
I don't think Little stands chasing a new.
Hey.
Yeah,
I'm
very
Sweetie
smooth.
Belle.
Good morning, every pony. How are you?
We're doing all right. How are you, Sweetie Belle?
Me? I guess I'm doing all right too.
Yeah, because last time you
Are you
had
sure?
out crying.
Yeah? Why?
It's just, well, I think we just expected you to be more nervous.
I mean, I am nervous, but not all that much.
Okay, let me guess. She has been visited by Naruto in her dreams. Remember, she left very fast after Athena.
Actually, that's rather likely. We know Luna's holding secrets back, but the other possibility that occurred to me now is that Sweetie has accepted her fate, including potentially a guilty verdict, because that would also mean covering from someone else successfully.
I mean, yeah. But we don't know what she's covering for.
Well, if she takes the fall, someone else doesn't. And I think that's what's going through her mind. Maybe.
Yeah, she might know something that we don't. What you mean? I mean, what happened exactly? We know that her order has been dead when she scared away the Timberwolf. But did she see who killed him? We don't know that.
It was one of the things that Luna said in the dream that of all the things in this case, she's the most certain that of Sweetie's innocence.
Yeah.
It's as if she already has the proof.
He probably
Just
does.
aside from personal confidence.
I mean, Sweetie Man was not supposed to be here. And the only reason she's here is because of the blood that they have found and identified it's hers.
Yeah, it just proves that she was there, not that she killed him.
Yep.
Me. And considering how they managed to get both Scootaloo and Turning Page declared innocent, well, then I shouldn't have a whole lot to worry about. Whatever happens, happens, you know? That's a mature outlook. Thanks.
You say that, Sweetie Belle? And your heart's saying you believe that too. So maybe you aren't actually nervous. But something tells me that's not because you trust Twilight in me.
Yeah.
Me, every pony.
Private Eye? What are you doing here?
Hmm? Did Miss Sykes not tell you?
No?
No?
Strange. Well, I was tasked with coming here to help her with something.
Help with something?
Private Eye,
More
do
information?
you have what I asked for?
What you asked for?
I do. Though I must confess, I'm not sure why you needed it. Nevertheless, here it is.
Blood sample?
Blood?
From the Tate,
A
maybe?
sample of Royal Order's blood. to
Ah,
be
Royal
more
Order.
specific.
Great. And just to confirm, you were able to obtain this secretly, correct?
Yes, but why was such secrecy necessary, Miss Sykes?
Hmm.
You'll find out later, Detective. Thank you for
I'm here to
this.
psych you out.
I see. Very well then.
It's
I'll
a
certainly
secret
be able to
ace
put
in
this to
your
good
hoof,
use in
then.
today's trial.
I mean, in your hand. You're not in your hand.
Yeah, I hope so, Private Eye.
I know
I
so, Miss
don't
Sykes.
think you can make a clone of Royal Order using that blood sample. That's one thing that has occurred to me, though. If you could, I still wouldn't ensure. But pretend for a moment you could. You could take that blood sample, go to the mirror pool, make a clone of him, sort of bring him back to life, but more importantly, question the victim directly. What happened?
I feel
Mhm.
like what is gonna happen right here. This is gonna be a fake out evidence. That, yes, we found this blood here and here, and it is not real or not, it is yours. Just to lure out the actual killer. To make them believe that they left evidence behind.
That's a good possibility.
Because that has actually happened in the games as well. One minute. Not with blood, but with something else. It is still fake evidence though.
Critical thinking is the key to success, after all. Just keep that in mind, and I believe you'll have nothing to worry about.
I will. And I'll do my best to see through everything today, Detective.
Oh, everything.
Of course. Now, I had best return to my duties. Take care.
He's the investigator for this case. I find it strange that he was so unexpected here.
I mean, he is relative. He should actually show up on both sides, not just the prosecution side.
Yeah,
But in any case, in the games, the detectives are usually working for the prosecution. So I can see why it's surprising.
we kind of covered this before, but another potential possibility for Sweetie's confidence today is she might know that both the prosecutor and defendant are working to the same goal.
Yeah, probably that.
So it's sort of rigged on both sides of the court. However, what they're really doing here is establishing her innocence, but who's the guilty party instead? That is probably where the real struggle may occur.
Yeah, it is not about if you are guilty or not, but if we can find a real culprit or not.
And another layer of the maybe not today's court, but another area of doubt is Sugar. That was the other end of the scenario.
Yeah, the problem is that she actually said it. Okay, I did it. Which makes me think that she is actually doing the same as Sweetie, trying to come out for someone else. Which is the mother.
Covering for each other, trying to take the fall before the other does, and maybe equally unaware of that.
Yeah.
In two, right?
Yes, that would be for the best. You go on in, Sweetie Belle. We'll meet you inside shortly.
Okay. See you guys soon.
Okay. I know you guys have some questions.
When did you ask Private Eye to get you that sample? It couldn't have been this morning.
Well, I didn't ask him. Sonata did.
Sonata?
After Luna visited me in my dream, I couldn't fall asleep afterwards.
Oh yeah, there was someone here in the last scene. He was like, "Oh wait, so that's in the CNC hotel or something like that." No, he had say.
That was the very last scene of the last episode.
We didn't see her going there. I don't know if it was Sonata going here or she going to Sonata, but they met up.
I had this feeling that I needed to follow up on a few things, but I obviously couldn't do it on my own, so I decided to leave the castle for a bit and go to Sonata for help. She was happy to assist. That's when I asked her to get Private Eye to obtain this blood sample. That wasn't all, though. Apollo, do you remember that photo you shared with us yesterday? The one with the blood on the trees?
Yeah?
Yeah. Did you ask Sonata for help with that then?
Yep. I asked if she could find out whose blood that was. Chances are it's the victim's, but it doesn't hurt to check. And there were 2 other things I needed her to look into.
2 more things?
The source of the anonymous tip, and the location of the remaining suit of armor. The one belonging to the victim that died at the statue. Sonata should be out investigating those things right now. Hopefully, she'll be able to get back to us with her findings soon.
Yeah, because if Sweetie used the armor, she had no reason to hide the armor anymore. So there was someone else there.
What did she bang it onto? For
Yeah.
sure, one's with the helmet, and the other metallic object is, well, possibly the statue, I guess. It was there too.
I mean,
Otherwise, she had another metallic object somewhere.
they said she used the helmet on the armor.
Right, then the armor had to be there too. And the Timberwolves are less likely to choose that as well.
Yeah?
Boss. Thanks.
But why did you ask her to do all of that?
Why not?
It has to do with something I thought of yesterday, after I had my dream. It's nothing definitive, to be honest, and I might be way off the mark here, but I have a hunch that this blood sample, along with finding out those 2 things, will be crucial.
Okay, so this blood sample is from the trees. Who smelled it all over the trees on one side? From what we get on, it might have been from the exploding out one, but that would mean that everywhere else would be muddy as well. Not just a little slide. It actually looks like someone smelled it off on the trees. In a paintbrush or something. But why? And who?
Not just for landing a not guilty verdict for Sweetie Belle, but also for figuring out the truth behind this whole messy case.
I see.
I know, Twilight. I wish I could tell you something more definitive, but it's going to depend on how the trial goes from here on. I know I'm asking a lot, but can you trust me on this?
Yes.
I mean, you
I
have
can,
to.
Athena. If you say you think this will help, then I think so too.
Thank you, Twilight.
If I may have your attention, the trial is about to begin. Counsel for the defense, please enter the courtroom at this time.
That's as good a sign as any, I suppose. Let's get going, Twilight.
Yep, let's.
Yeah. We
Good
figured
luck, you 2.
the court itself will be
I bet
started
you
soon in
made
this
it, I'm
episode.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, Sweetie Belle is on the inside.
Sure to succeed.
You know what? I wanna see, before we even start the trial, I wanna see if Equity is gonna be in the court. She might actually come this time. Because last time we didn't see her.
Initially doubting it until she's called to the court. But from Equity's perspective, I think she wants to be there. She may want to at least monitor it.
Yeah?
Even if she's innocent, I think she has a vested interest in the case.
I don't see her. Do I count? Or 4 count this time?
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Sweetie Belle. Are the prosecution and defense ready?
The prosecution is indeed ready, Your Honor.
The defense is also ready, Your Honor. And there's
Your
Prosecutor
face?
Luna again. It's strange.
Oh, also you can see Midget. The little robot that I was talking about. It's in her neck. Right behind her arm at the moment.
Neat.
That is the little thing that talks.
We'll see if it speaks up during this court case.
It should actually talk a lot more.
Even though I know her role in all this, I still can't escape this feeling of intimidation. I guess it comes with being one of Equestria's rulers. But, like Twilight, I'm also worried about what she has planned.
Also, one thing that you don't know, I know because of the game, that little thing is actually showing her emotions. And that she has been given this because she was always terrible at showing her emotions on her own. As a young little child.
Regarding what Athena said, she's aware of Luna's goal
Yes.
to uncover the truth. The plan is more like the details of the goal, and that's what she's in the dark about.
Yep.
I know we're on the same side, but that doesn't mean I know exactly how she intends to set Sweetie Belle free.
Yesterday, I expressed sorrow at the fact that more children were involved with this case.
Almost all of the children were involved in this case.
Yeah, I know. It's Apple Bloom's turn soon to be thrown under the bus.
No, she has nothing to do with this.
It's the last of the CMC that hasn't been accused
Must
yet.
add yet another to it. The day exacts a heavy toll on us all.
I'm glad he's at least sympathetic.
Nevertheless, I will reiterate my position as a neutral judge presiding over this trial. Prosecutor Luna, you may begin with your opening statement, if you would please.
Of course, Your Honor. I would like to first begin by recontextualizing the entire case. Yesterday's trial, thanks in large part to the efforts of the defense, revealed several key facts. One was that on the night of Royal Order's murder, there was not just one victim, but in fact, two. The original Royal Order and his clone. The defense postulated that one of them was killed at a clearing in the middle of the Everfree Forest and was subsequently brought to the bridge. The second one was killed at the Nightmare Moon statue before being eaten by Timberwolves. This trial will provide us insight to the truth behind that second death.
Question that we don't know. Did they find two bodies or only one? We stipulated that there is two killings. What if he never killed himself? What if the blood near the statue is his, but he didn't die just yet? Oh wait, what if he didn't die at the other case and was killed at the statue? We are insinuating a lot. We are stipulating a lot. That yeah, he must have killed himself.
Yeah, I guess she got blood samples, but no body.
Yeah. I mean, we know that when the clothes die, they explode, but...
Your Honor, I call the Timberwolves to the stand. Timberwolves, did you eat Royal Order? Woof,
Can,
woof.
can
Woof.
Fluttershy talk with Timberwolves? No, she can't, right?
Don't recall her making an attempt, and I do have a little bit of doubt. But I have seen, at least I think I have seen Fluttershy communicate with monsters too.
I mean,
even if she couldn't, she seems to be quite effective with them anyway. Like Cerberus, for example. You might call that a monstrous creature, Yet Fluttershy had no trouble taming it, and that might indicate communication advantages too.
Let me disagree. Samuels is a dog, by nature. But the Timberwolf seems to be more not wolf by nature, but actually just me attack anything that goes into my our territory. Not
Yeah,
for food, but just for actually killing it.
What they seem to be is a magical entity animating wooden structures.
Yeah. There might be
They're more
actually
almost
something behind them.
they're almost like a golem.
Yeah, I can see that. So they might not even have a mind on their own. And you can't really talk to something that doesn't have a mind.
Well, their behavior, if they have any kind of mind, it has animalistic and aggressive instincts.
They are really more like the game in the movie, which is in the reading. Remember
Close.
them
But
that
it
they don't
seems
really
to
have a
me
mind.
the Grimm are even more aggressive
Yeah,
and more
they are.
hateful and spiteful.
Yeah, these ones are not for hate, these are just territorial.
Anyway, ready when you are.
The blood test that Miss Sonata and Detective Private Eye submitted yesterday proved the statue area bore 2 ponies' blood. One was Royal Order, but the other was the accused, Miss Sweetie Belle. The prosecution believes she was involved in the second Royal Order's death.
And this is not a lie. She was involved. She didn't do it,
Yeah,
but she was there. And she
I
saw
noticed
it.
I noticed her wording on that.
Her blood found at the scene confirms this.
But it doesn't confirm she actually killed him, though. Only that she was there at the scene when he died.
I mean, still, she is a witness, nonetheless, even if she just finds the body. Because this,
Wording there is trying to guide Athena, I think.
yeah. This literally proves that she knew that Royal Order was dead, and called nobody for help.
Another theory snapped in my mind, which is a combination of something you had earlier. Royal Order is not dead. Sweetie Belle knows this, but needs to keep the secret for some reason. Like, okay, start there. Pretend for a second he is alive. Why would he want that to be a secret? And he swore Sweetie Belle to that.
Yeah, I have.
Who is Royal Order covering for then?
Yeah, once again, I have a feeling that Royal Order is still alive, or killed himself as a clone. And at the scene, and near the statue, what happened was, Sweetie Belle was attacked by the Timberwolf, and then Royal Order came out and have the fight away the Timberwolf. Literally save Sweetie Belle.
I still think that if Royal Order in any way is the aggressor, I believe Poison Joke is involved.
It is.
Yeah.
We know that Poison Joke was involved, that's why he was wobbly, and that's why the one near the thing died.
However, if that's true, it not necessarily affected both of them.
Yeah.
That's what we learned at the detention center. Where is Luna going with this? If this was all she had, surely she wouldn't call for this trial if she believed Sweetie was innocent. What's forcing her hoof?
I see. Prosecutor Luna, do you mean to tell the court that you believe the defendant, Miss Sweetie Belle, murdered Royal Order?
Ah! This was always a thing in the game. It seems this judge actually learned a lot since the beginning of the game. That she's asking for clarification. He never did that. That's why you could get away with stupid shit before.
Not quite, Your Honor.
Not quite. What do you mean?
To explain that, Your Honor, the prosecution would like to have Private Eye briefly come to the stand.
Private Eye?
Yeah.
Why
I
does
mean,
need
she
him?
said
Very
involved.
The court grants
My
this
name is
request.
Private Eye, and then he steps down because that was brief.
Huh.
Detective Eye,
I only
please
seen the
explain to the
same
court
people
how
that
Royal
saw
Order
this.
was killed at the statue.
At once, Your Highness. While there are still some facts left shrouded in mystery, our current theory attempts to explain the events of that night, at that particular scene. The victim and defendant were at the statue.
Yes?
Some sort of altercation must have occurred, after which Miss Sweetiebelle was forced to act.
Forced to act?
We believe that Royal Order attempted to attack Miss Sweetiebelle.
Ah. I see what they are doing. They are forcing our hand to show that I am never Timberwolf now. I'm pretty sure Luna knows about this.
However, she must have done something in response, which would have led to how he died. Impalement at the statue's base.
Do you mean to say that the defendant pushed the victim herself?
Not at all, my lord. Miss Sweetiebelle is a filly, and much smaller than the victim. She would not have been able to push him on her own.
Then, how do you propose he ended up impaled?
We believe it was because the victim was suffering from weak knees, due to the effect of poison joke.
I mean, do you have proof that's what he was suffered from? You can done any kind of poison joke effect on him. You can prove what he had. This is pure speculation.
Well, there's a little bit of evidence in there, but assembling it all is the speculation part.
We don't even know if he was actually poison joked or not. He's dead. Unless you can actually extract data from the blood that he had this effect on himself.
That's possible, and maybe they're about to say that.
But they can't do that. They cannot. They believe it was.
When Royal Order attacked Miss Sweetiebelle, she must have instinctively dove for his hooves in an attempt to trip him. He would have naturally stumbled forward, resulting in impalement.
Your Honor, it is this theory that the prosecution will pursue in today's trial. As Detective Eye has now revealed, while Miss Sweetiebelle was indeed involved in Royal Order's death, we do not believe she intentionally murdered him.
Also, see her wording. This is what we will pursue. This is not that we believe in. This is what we will pursue.
It's just attempted to prove then that this is an accident or self-defense.
Yeah, but they know that this is not what happened. This is just what they are pursuing.
Today's trial, as Detective Eye has now revealed, while Miss Sweetiebelle was indeed involved in Royal Order's death, we do not believe she intentionally murdered him. Rather, we believe this to be a tragic case of an accidental killing. She did intentionally trip him, but she did not mean to impale him.
Yeah, this is much easier if he was still alive than the Timberwolf pushed him. That's all.
I'm starting to think that the other death at the bridge is going to be a case involving Sugar Snap more. And today's trial is just about the one at the statue.
Yeah. This is gonna be just simply the case of me showing that, oh yeah. Wait. I just got something. Remember the blood on the trees? He got impaired on the statue, yeah, because of the Timberwolves. And Sweetiebelle might have thought that he died, but he didn't. He got up and getting all of the trees to work forward. He was still alive. by that point. There might have been only one killing.
Yeah, I did not have many theories about the blood on the trees. I thank you for proposing that one.
What? Objection! Prosecutor Luna! How can you make that kind of claim? That is conjecture at best.
It is conjecture,
Miss
yeah.
X, are you saying you do not believe Miss Sweetie Belle was responsible?
Of course we are. The defense
I think that
argues Sweetie Belle
she's
wasn't involved in
luring
her
you.
daughter's death in the slightest. Right, Sweetie Belle? What?
Oh no. This is a very well-known prosecutor. It's a tactic. Ah yeah, just accept that claim and you will be given the shorter sentence. You know this kind of tactic, right? Even if you are innocent, you might actually want to accept the thing that they said.
I'm not aware of the tactic. I just don't watch the show normally, but
No, it's in real life as well.
Yeah, I can still see it. After all, Sweetie's covering for something, so she might take a lesser sentence to make sure someone else is entirely clear
Yeah.
of something.
Yeah.
And the consequences won't be too severe for Sweetie. Like for example, going this route, they are not going to do the death sentence.
Yep.
I don't even think it would be life in prison either.
No, if it's an accidental killing, then it might be like not even prison. It might just be you have to work a little bit for the community.
Yeah.
If it's truly an accident. So yeah. This actually explains why Sweetie Belle was so strong.
Sweetie Belle, come on! Tell the court your side of the story.
Oh yeah, this is what happened.
Sweetie Belle? Why aren't you answering?
I believe I can explain that, Princess Twilight. You see, ever since yesterday evening, Miss Sweetie Belle has decided to exercise her right to remain silent.
Her right.
And who would have said that you have that? Oh! I see that you're back there.
Right? You mean she's acknowledging that?
No, I won't accept that. It's not true. I know it isn't.
As resolved as you are, you will need more than mere protest, Golden Pixie.
Oh boy. I totally missed hearing that.
I mean, Golden Pixie is still better what she was called in the games. He was a yellow monkey.
So, silence again, huh? Is this another thing Luna set up? Or maybe someone else?
The defense does bring up.
Wait. Someone else. Remember that Tony Page and her mother was visiting Sweetie Belle?
Yep, I do.
They might have told her that she has the right to stay silent. And
Well,
if she is defending someone,
yeah, well, they may have not only advised that, but gave a reason for it.
yeah. And if it was Tony Page's mother, she might not want her to go to jail. Because then Tony Page will lose her mother as well. And remember, Tony was actually defending them. With the same thing.
A fair point, Prosecutor Luna. Though it is an intriguing theory, it is still just that. A theory.
A game theory!
And cut. Court
You're
adjourned.
aware of that, Your Honor. That is why, in order to substantiate this theory, The prosecution would now like to call 2 witnesses to the stand.
Oh,
Witnesses who claim to have seen this unfortunate accident occur right before their very eyes.
don't tell me it's Sterling
And
Page.
time tear?
Again? Ugh. We've just started, but already I've been blindsided. Ugh.
I mean, Diamond Tiara should have been blind, but we know she wasn't.
Don't let it get to you, Athena.
I mean, Silver Spoon.
Huh?
Remember what you said earlier. Princess Luna is on our side. If she's making this particular accusation, it's because she expects us to be able to show it doesn't hold up to scrutiny. That means we just have to steady ourselves and keep pressing on.
Right.
Very well then. Detective, you may leave the stand. The court will now hear from the prosecution's 2 witnesses.
Who
I
are
only fit
you?
one pony at a time up at the stand. It's too crowded up there. Okay.
I actually
Yeah.
expected the mother. I didn't expect the. Oh yeah, that actually makes sense. She was there.
Link.
Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court record.
Yeah, I am Fan Emotion. I am the mother of Sterling Page. And
Yeah,
I
what
am
is her-
Sugar Stomp, the murderer.
What is Fair Devotion's occupation? That's the one I don't know.
I think she's the whole mother.
Probably. Let's see what she says.
Sugar Stamp! At your service, Your Highness! I'm a mail pony working for the Crown Courier Express.
Wait, she's a male pony?
I can see the problem in that, yeah. Especially nowadays, when you cannot tell if someone is male or female or anything else. Because it's easy to misgender anyone, but no, it's a male carrier pony.
No, Your Honor. She's like a mail carrier. You know? Letters.
Oh, right.
Or she carries mails.
Yeah. Also, nowadays people are like, what is a male?
It's a kind of armor you wear.
Is it like an email, but not E? Not many people use the post office anymore, maybe only for sending packages.
Yeah, they got M mail. That would be magic mail.
Magic mail. I mean, no, they have email. Which is Spike.
And your name, witness?
I'm Fair Devotion. I'm a substitute teacher at Ponyville Elementary.
Oh, there you go. Wait, I think she mentioned that before. I just didn't remember.
And as I understand it, the deceased's wife?
Yes, that is correct.
My condolences, Miss Fair Devotion. I understand that this is a trying time for you.
You'd think she'd express more visible sorrow at that, but her voice is crying out in anguish. That's unmistakable. Just like I thought.
Witnesses, are you prepared to testify as to what the both of you saw that night?
A baton?
Yes, we are.
Very well.
Why do you have that?
I witnessed me murdering you all right now.
You know that this is a court, right? You know that no pony should have any kind of weapons inside the court, except the guard. Or maybe not even the guard.
Oh, we'll see where this is going. Maybe it's made of a wiffle
Please
bat.
begin your test.
But yeah, we are talking about Phoenix, right? Crossover, where we have seen whips, tasers, and I think he was gone in the court. So one time they even blew up the whole court with a bomb. So saying a little matter is nothing.
Testimony.
They more so it.
That night, I happened to be watching the scene from above. The sound of fighting drew me in.
I was searching for my husband when I also heard something that sounded like fighting and went to investigate.
What I saw, oh, it was horrible! That little filly had tripped Royal Order, and when he landed, the statue base impaled him! She ran off in a panic afterwards.
Objection. She couldn't turn off. She was already injured.
Objection! Will a
If only I
witness please stop attacking her partner?
waiting behind
Yeah.
like he'd asked me to, then I could have stopped this from happening.
So you two saw the grisly scene unfold before your very eyes?
Yes.
Yeah,
I can
and they
still
are both
see him
lying.
there, lifeless. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'd rather
You know
not
what?
think much about it.
Not only do I think that Royal Order's alive, but at least she's aware of it, because she is not grieving him that much.
Yeah, they might be most believing. They might be most knowing.
That would help explain it if she's. You don't have to cry over someone you know is not actually dead, but then why the lie? Which is potentially a secret that even Sweetie Belle's on. If they all are witnesses, there may be corroborating their story, and it's not the truth.
We will see how it goes.
Yeah.
I can't believe it either. Royal Order seems so full of life. I never thought I'd have to live on without him.
In any case, I believe now is the time for the defense to begin their cross-examination. Miss Sykes, you may proceed.
You got it, Your Honor. I wasn't
I'll
expecting
start by
things to go
smacking them
exactly
around.
like this. But now they're both here. Time to tear down this lie and see what they're really hiding.
I mean, she could. She actually could. She learned martial arts. So, taking on the
That's something-
podium would not be too much of an issue for her.
Yeah, those
Except
two
magic.
probably don't have that kind of training. I'll tell you what they do have though: a floating sword for some reason.
I mean, it's not a sword, it's just a stick. It's just an example stick. It's a baton.
It's still strange that no one's questioning that.
And I can see why a teacher would have something like that, but not that thick kind. Because my teacher had a thing like that, where he was pointing at the table, like, yeah, just write down this and this. But this one that she has is a baton. This is for fighting or
That's
self-defense.
called a pointing stick.
Yeah, but this one is not. This is too thick for that. Yeah, that is a bit too thick for just pointing. That is for self-defense.
That night, I happened to be watching the scene from above. The sound of fighting drew me in.
Where exactly were you both watching from?
Well, I was in the treetop. First for...
Oh wait, that was a little bit from them. I think you saw it. Let me go back.
From?
Well, I was in the treetop.
She's
No,
making this
oh!
right now.
This is in the window. That's a little glitch. It's in the window itself.
Oh, she's repeating herself, and then.
No,
she has
I went
que-
back. I went back.
Okay.
Something else, and I heard the commotion as I was flying towards Ponyville.
As for myself, I was standing out of the way, somewhere in the woods where I could watch what happened unseen.
Both being not very specific of location.
Also,
Probably pretending they don't remember that precisely.
Why did you go there if you saw your husband being stabbed in the statue? We would have seen footprints on the ground, or hoofprints.
Distance might be a factor.
Devotion. Where
Also,
were
it's
you
dark.
before you arrived at the statue
But then they wouldn't see. They said they saw it happen.
area?
The crossroads. I'd gone
I
searching
don't
for my husband.
think these
and
are
so naturally I
trustworthy
followed the
authors here.
path from the entrance.
No, they are not.
I noticed a blood trail leading down the path towards the statue when I got to the crossroads.
Wait. You noticed the blood trail leading down the path toward the statue. Oh! We have got it back to us. The other killing happened before. He stayed alive and then went to the statue.
Or, the blood trail's actually going away from the statue.
But if they actually saw the blood trail, then they might have not have seen Sweetie Belle, because it might have come from her. And also, why did we not see the blood trail?
I followed it.
Huh? There is a glitch here? Ah, they even said that there's a YouTube
Would have
glitch
been
there.
around 10:30, give or take.
Yeah. Same for me, I think.
Could you describe what you did next?
I was searching for my husband when I also heard something that sounded like fighting, and went to investigate.
Did either of you know that the other was in the woods at the same time?
No, not in the slightest. I wasn't aware Sugar Stamp had been nearby until later, when I went to give my statement to the police.
I didn't see Diva at all that night either.
Miss Devotion, why were you drawn to the sounds of fighting in the first place? Weren't you concerned about getting hurt?
Yeah, that's an interesting.
I was not concerned because could spank people with this thing.
Yeah, she probably had it on her as well.
My husband was a member of the Royal Guard. He'd gone into the woods alone, knowing that it was filled with dangerous creatures. The chances of him running into one of those things and having to fight it were high.
You know what? I would believe that he knew that whatever he was facing in the woods are less dangerous than his wife.
And from what I heard of that scuffle, one of the ponies involved was most definitely Royal Order. Not to mention, I had already found blood. I believe now you can see why I was more concerned with that than my own safety.
Yeah, I guess I can. It wouldn't surprise me to know that even from a distance, Fair could detect her husband's voice.
I'm curious about Sugar Stamp's reaction to that. This one of them was definitely Royal Order. And they kind of have a very close enough color scheme to Sweetie Belle, by the way. What if Fan Emotion saw Sugar Stamp? It was dark.
Than my own safety.
Yeah, I guess I can. It wouldn't surprise me to know that even from a distance, Fair could detect her husband's voice.
Continue with your testimony, witnesses.
What I saw, it was horrible! That little filly had tripped Royal Order, and when he landed, the statue base impaled him! She ran off in a panic afterwards.
So you're saying that it was because of Sweetie Belle tripping him that Royal Order was impaled?
Yes! As horrific as it is to admit, that's exactly what I saw.
So that explains how he was impaled. But what about where?
I mean, we know that her
If you were
systematic
there
running
at
away
the
is
exact
impossible.
moment the impalement occurred, you should be able to tell us where the victim was impaled.
How strange. I don't really remember. Was it through his body, or...
Hang on! Fair devotion?
What is it, Miss Sykes?
It looked like something occurred to you just now, after Sugarstamp said she couldn't remember where Royal Order was impaled. Did you have something to add?
Something like that. I remembered how my husband fell.
How your
Yeah.
husband fell? Could you explain?
From what I recall, he fell face first into the base of the statue.
Oh.
That's
Yeah. And the Hamas had a thing. A little hole. Which is the same as the letter opener. And also shooter with mic. Or shooter handle. So yeah, this proves that Sugarstamp's little letter opener is not the murder weapon at all. Modern centuries.
That's what I saw too!
And that means...
Royal Order was impaled directly through his jaw.
No.
That certainly matches up with what Private Eye laid out earlier.
Yeah, it does. Rather cleanly, I might add. But what Fair just did? Not saying where he was impaled, but letting Sugarstamp point it out? It's exactly what Luna was doing with me in the last trial. She's leading her.
Ah!
Witness, please continue your testimony.
If only I'd gone after him sooner, instead of waiting behind like he'd asked me to. Then I could have stopped this from happening.
Fair devotion, I want to clarify something. The reason you went into the woods was to chase after your husband after he'd gone to look for your son?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Here's where it all begins to make sense. If what I'm thinking is true, the discord in their voices will tell me everything I need to know. Really? Somehow, I find it hard to believe that was the only reason.
What are you talking about?
I am also curious, defense. Surely you don't think the witness is lying about wanting to go after her husband?
Perhaps lying is putting it too strongly, but I have reason to believe that Fair Devotion went into the woods for a reason beyond what she's told the court. And it has to do with this piece of evidence. Take that!
That's a travel case, isn't it?
Yeah, the letter.
Yes. This travel case belonged to Royal Order, Your Honor. He'd take it with him when he had to make trips to Canterlot, which was quite frequently. But it's not the case itself that the court should be interested in. It's what we found inside.
And what did you find inside?
There are two items.
A bomb!
The first is this planner. It belonged to Royal Order and details his movements up until the day he died. The second is this. A love letter to Royal Order, written not by his wife, Fair Devotion, but by another pony, Sugarstamp.
Sugarstamp?
Yeah.
What?
Why are you actually surprised? We showed this letter to you. And you knew, you said it was meh. I knew about this.
Did Fair Devotion know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They showed this letter to Fair Devotion and she knew about it. And she was like, oh yeah, I remember when you are saying that she's lying herself.
Order in the court! Miss Sykes, are you implying that the victim, Royal Order, was having an illicit affair with one of these witnesses?
I don't need to imply anything, Your Honor. It states so in the letter.
Yes, I can see that.
No, the letter doesn't imply anything. The letter only proves that Sugar Stamp was in love with him. The planner, on the other hand, where he is actually planning to clone himself to be with both of them, implies that yes, he was actually having an affair. Because if he wasn't, he could just tell them that, yeah, sorry, I'm not interested. I have a family.
Sugar Stamp, is this true? Did you write this letter?
Diva?
I can't believe it! After all I've done for you! You turn around and stab me in the back like this? I loved my husband.
Loved? As if! You were never happy with him being a royal guard. You hated how he was always working, always leaving you home alone.
That was because I thought he was spending all of his time working, not being with you.
Well, what can I say? He loved me, and I loved him. The heart wants what it wants.
If she keeps saying things like that, Miss Devotion is going to tear hers out. Is something up, Athena?
Maybe. Twilight, do the two of them sound a little off to you?
Yeah, they sound very off. At least the mother, as I said. He knew about the letter.
They're off to see the wizard.
Oh my god. I assuming told this crossed my mind. What if the whole I loved your husband is a ruse? What if she is in love with Fair Devotion? And the other way around as well? What if the father was just a short cook and they wanted to get rid of him? It's a stupid idea, I know.
Then Royal Order may have been deceived too. He made a clone of himself in order to be with both of them. That says something about his perspective.
Yeah?
That's if the journal's telling the truth.
Not really. I mean, I'd expected them to be surprised.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Especially since Fair outright denied the possibility of an affair yesterday, and Sugar probably didn't think Royal would be holding on to that letter. Why do you ask? Did you notice something?
I think so. Interesting.
The
They
Discord.
act surprised and angry, but I'm not hearing any actual shock or rage in their voices. If that's true, then I'm almost certain I know the reason why.
Not to mention...
Witnesses! You will calm yourselves or be escorted from the courtroom!
They might actually want that.
Prosecutor Luna, what are your thoughts regarding this unexpected development?
It's hardly unexpected, Your Honor. We too had examined the travel case in question and found the letter the defense presented. As such, I am more intrigued than surprised by what this opens up.
What do you mean, Prosecutor Luna?
As the defense said, the planner belonged to the victim and details his movements up until he died. I suggest you read the entry for the 12th.
On the 12th? Let's see here. February 12th. Locate mirror pool. Perform cloning spell. Oh, my word! The mirror pool! That must mean...
Your Honor, yesterday we established that there were two versions of the victim on the night of the murder thanks to that mirror pool.
No, we have not established that. We are still just implying on this possibility. And also, those people were the second part of that same sentence. Meeting Sugar Stamp. Afterwards.
There seems to be evidence of his death in two locations. The rock was removed from the mirror pool, and his planner suggested that he had this plan.
Yep.
It was initially believed he made two of himself to seek out his son, but with the details of this planner now on display, another alarming motive emerges. Royal Order cloned himself so that one version could stay with his wife, Fair Devotion, and the second could be with his other partner, Sugar Stamp.
Indeed. That would appear to be the most logical explanation for this entry.
But that's not all that's revealed by this, Your Honor.
There's more?
This affair casts a shadow over some of what we already heard from these two witnesses.
Also, I'm thinking about, there is one more thing that the journey does not say. Who is he doing the cloning spell on? He never said it himself. He never said he wants to clone himself. He just said, perform cloning spell. There might have been someone with him.
Namely, why Fair Devotion followed her husband. As the defense pointed out, Fair could have had an ulterior motive, one involving the context of this affair. And that could change an aspect of this trial. Wouldn't you agree, Miss Sykes? For that is what you are arguing, isn't it?
No.
Sykes? Athena?
I know what you're trying to hint at, Prosecutor Luna, and I'm sure you mean well, but I'm afraid I can't follow that path.
Defense?
Are we going that way, but I think that there was no clone?
No, Your Honor. I don't believe we need to confirm anything just yet. Or at least, not this.
You don't?
What?
Yeah, because if he couldn't perform the cloning spell, this would give a lot of motivation for Sugar Stamp to kill.
Okay. Based on her reaction, I'm now expecting Fair Devotion to float out a script for this episode and say and argue that is not what Miss Sykes should have said.
Yeah.
But that's not in the script. Let me see that page again.
Instead, I'd like to focus on another aspect of the planner.
Another aspect?
Yeah, meet
Your
me, Sugar Stamp.
If you look at the planner, you'll see that there are actually 2 entries on the 12th. You've already read the first. What does the second one say?
The second? Meet Sugar Stamp at
Yeah, there we go.
Forest Clearing, 10:10 p.m.
As you will recall from their testimony, Fair Devotion and Sugar Stamp arrived at the statue around 10:30. This means that the scheduled meeting with Royal Order would have occurred 20 minutes prior.
Yes, I can see that, Miss Sykes. But why does that matter?
Why does that matter? Didn't Fair Devotion say that she was following Blood Trail to the statue?
It matters because in that time frame, Sugar Stamp was not watching the scene as she previously testified. Instead, she was elsewhere. Namely, waiting at the clearing to meet with Royal Order.
Oh, you're right.
Your Honor, it's important that we account for every witness's movements that night. As such, the defense formally asked to hear further testimony from Sugar Stamp.
What? Golden Pixie! Just what are you up to? Sugar Stamp's meeting with Royal Order is irrelevant!
Yeah, it's irrelevant. One of the possible murderers who actually said that she murdered him is meeting with the victim. It's irrelevant.
Unfortunately, Prosecutor Luna, that is something neither you nor I can decide. Not without hearing her testify once again. I know I shouldn't take too much satisfaction in throwing Luna a curveball, but can I help but feel a little smug? More than that, though, I think we will find that what she has to say is relevant, due to what she confessed to us in the detention center yesterday.
She confessed? To what?
You don't mean...
Your Honor, we can't forget that on the night in question, there were 2 royal orders and that both of them died. While this initial testimony attempted to shed light on one of those deaths, What Sugar Stamp told us reveals what happened to the other. Namely, that he was killed by Sugar Stamp herself.
Order! Order in the
Oh, so the judge didn't know about this.
Incredible! If this is true, then I can think of no reason not to permit further testimony.
Athena, where are you going with this?
Wait, so this is basically an anti-alibi. Literally. She couldn't be witnessing this because she wasn't there. She was killing another one.
Unless she has a clone too.
Trust me, Twilight.
What I said last time. He never said who he is killing, who is copying.
We'll start seeing this case in a whole new light.
Oh, okay, Athena. If you're that certain about this, I'll stand by you.
The court accepts the defense's proposal. Miss Sugarstamp,
Yes, Your Honor?
you will now testify to the court as to your actions that night prior to you running into the defendant.
Okay.
Once again, if he succeeded making a clone, she had no reason to kill. If he didn't succeed with the cloning, then he didn't die in the clearing. And ran to the statue and died there. And then his body was moved to the where they found it. Trying to blame Scootaloo.
I went to meet Royal Order at the time we agreed on, 10:10 p.m. We talked for a little bit, and he told me his plan of leaving me with a clone of himself. But when I heard that, I couldn't think. I killed him, then and there, using a letter opener that I carried with me.
Why? Why? He just told me that, yeah, we will be together forever. You don't have to think about our family anymore. It's not gonna be like, you are gonna have one of me for all eternity.
Yep.
After he was dead,
I completely don't buy that motive.
then decided to carry the body to the castle.
Yeah, this is
ruins
not
by
a motive
flying
at
it
all.
there. Then I flew out of the forest. While flying over the crossroads, I saw Scootaloo crash into the other Royal Order. After she left, I moved the scooter and wagon to further shift the blame.
And this is what you confessed to yesterday?
Wait. Let me just go back there. So she killed one, and then she saw Scootaloo crashing into the other one. That means there was 3 copies. Because there was one at the statue as well. Right?
Killed him, then and there.
That
using
depends on the
letter
timing.
opener that I carried with me. After he was dead, I removed his armor, then decided to carry the body to the castle ruins by flying it there. Then I flew out of the forest. While flying over the crossroads, I saw Scootaloo crash into the other Royal Order. After she left, I moved the scooter and wagon to further shift the blame.
Oh, okay. I see where they are going. So the other one, what she mentioned, didn't die. She moved the scooter. Wait. And the wagon to the castle as well. To blame the one that she killed on Scootaloo. The other one got up and ran to the statue. I can see that happening, yeah.
Left, I moved the scooter and wagon to further shift the blame.
And this is what you confessed to yesterday, then?
Yes, Your Honor. Every last bit of it.
I see. Defense, you may begin your cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Time to finally put this confession to bed.
Also, she never mentioned that she went to the statue and saw whatever she was saying in the last testimony.
Well, according to these timings, that might have occurred later. Something happened at 10:10, and then something happened at 10:30. I think both stories are not reliable, though.
Yeah, but then she said that she left the forest and never went back, so... Obviously not reliable.
I went to meet Royal Order at the time we agreed on, 10:10 p.m. We talked for a little bit, and he told me his plan of leaving me with a clone of himself.
Yeah, if she's telling the truth, by the way, start there. This is the first time she learned his plan. And it might have also succeeded by then?
Yeah, this is the question. If he actually made a clone by this, or he told her his plan that he didn't succeed.
If it did succeed, then which ones confessed to her, the original or the clone?
We never know. We will never know.
Did you have any idea what Royal Order wanted to talk to you about before you went to this meeting?
A little bit. He told me he had an idea as to how we could be together.
But you didn't know it would involve clones, right?
No, of course not! I wasn't even sure that clones could exist! I thought for sure he'd choose the easier option and stay with me! Oh, I was so mad!
No, that's actually the other one.
So you say. Your heart, on the other hand. Before you met up with Royal Order, did you happen to see any pony else in the forest?
Well, I did see the children while I was flying from the direction of the castle to the clearing.
The children? Oh, you mean Scootaloo and Turning Page?
Yeah, and also those two other fillies, Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. They looked like they were talking about something really important.
Around what time did you see them?
10 p.m. It was just before I had landed at the clearing.
She must have seen the blackmail negotiations before they'd gone downhill.
Yep.
Sugar Stamp?
Yes, Princess Twilight?
After you saw the children, did you see any pony else before you landed at the clearing?
No, not until Royal Order arrived.
We know already of why she met with him, so questioning it further won't get us anywhere. Witness, continue your testimony.
But when I heard that, I couldn't think. I killed him, then and there, using a letter opener that I carried with me.
How long after you met and talked with Royal Order did you supposedly kill him?
I would say about 5 minutes after, so around 10:15 p.m.
And how did you kill him exactly? Was it just with a single strike?
No. First I kicked him in the side to get him off balance.
Kicked him? While he was fully armored?
Yes. I had to really put my back into it just to stagger him. It made an awful, loud, metallic sound.
Well, now we have that's from where the second sound coming from. Which means this is around the time where Scootaloo was scaring out the Timberwolves. Because they heard two metallic sounds.
A loud metallic sound. Like a clang?
Yes! That's a good word to describe it. I'd give you candy for that answer, but... Oh. I don't have any on me.
Ah.
It's alright, Miss Stamp. Could you tell us what happened next?
Well, I had to act quickly before he could recover. So, I stabbed him with the letter opener. Through his right temple. It killed him. Instantly.
That lines up with the autopsy report's initial findings, but... How do you explain the other stab wounds found around the same area on his head?
Wait, what?
The other stab wounds?
Huh? Is she fishing? She might be fishing. I don't remember any other stab wounds either.
The autopsy report states that along with a lethal stab wound to the right temple, several post-mortem stab wounds were found in the same location. Miss Stamp, did you stab the victim again after he was already dead?
Yes, I did.
Good grief!
Well, she's changing her story right
Why
there.
would you do such a thing?
Yeah, now, if I think what is right, what she's doing, she's like, okay, so write it down. She said she stabbed him again. But actually, there was only one wound. I lied. This is what they are doing.
Were you really that angry with him?
I believe I might know why, Your Honor.
You do, Miss Devotion?
Indeed, though it is a bit grisly. Sugar Stamp,
Yes, Diva?
you testified that you decided to move the body after you'd killed Royal Order, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
But secretly moving a body that was bleeding from a head wound would have been difficult. You'd have a trail leaking from him constantly.
Ah,
Hence,
I
you
see.
needed to stab him again.
Yes, that's right.
Can you run that by me again?
You know what's the problem? She knows too much. It's as if she was the one doing that. And Sugar Stamp did not.
It's true. I did stab him again after he died, but I only realized he was still bleeding after I got rid of his armor. I had removed the blade to throw it all into the river, you see, and when I came back to the clearing, a pool of blood had collected on the ground.
Yeah, that was there.
So, I tried to stick the letter opener into the first wound like a plug. It was my best bet at stopping the bleeding so I could move the body, and it worked.
And that's her way of explaining those irregularities in the victim's wound that Luna mentioned.
At any rate, I think we've settled that matter. Let's move on. Witness, describe to the court what you did next.
After he was dead, I removed his armor, then decided to carry the body to the castle ruins by flying it there. Then I flew out of the forest.
So after
where's
you
the armor?
stabbed the victim, you decided to toss the
You
armor
don't
in
know.
the river, then move the body by flying it away.
She's testifying she
Did you
removed
see
the armor. She can
anyone
say
else while you were flying?
exactly where she put it.
Anybody else?
She threw it in the river, that's what she said.
Yes, actually. I saw two ponies very clearly. They were actually heading towards each other, though I'm not sure if they knew it.
Who were they?
The first was Sakura. She was coming from her hut, I remember. And the other was Turning Page. He'd been coming from the castle.
And that was it? You only saw those two? No pony else?
No pony else.
That lines up with what we've already established. Scootaloo would have already passed by the clearing at this point, so Sugar wouldn't have seen her.
Right. And Turning, since he was coming from the castle, would have left there long before Sugar Stamp dropped off Royal Order's body.
And as Turning Page said in the previous trial, he was the shadow that Sakura saw on her way to the castle. Sugar Stamp's story confirms that, too. I'm not sensing any contradictions in her words just yet, Athena. So far, her actions make sense. Or at least can be explained.
Yeah. We'd better move on then. Before you reached the castle ruins, did you stop off anywhere?
No, I didn't.
Didn't you have to put a letter into Sakura's heart?
Really? Not even at a certain
Yeah.
spot? In order to deliver a certain letter?
Letter?
I believe the defense is referring to this one, witness. Obviously, the contents of the letter cannot be revealed to the court. but the envelope in which it was delivered should suffice. I would like to resubmit it to the court record, Your Honor.
The court accepts it into evidence.
Oh, that letter! It slipped my mind until just now. I'm sorry, every pony.
So that means you admit to stopping off at Zikora's at some point in order to drop off this letter?
Yes, that's correct.
And when did you make that stop then?
It was after I'd placed the body at the ruins. That's also when I removed the letter opener and put it back in my bag. After that, I went to deliver the letter.
I see. Could you add that to the end of your testimony for me, please?
Oh, sure.
Let's move on. Witness, you moved the body and delivered the letter. Did you mean to leave the forest afterwards?
Yes.
Wait, objection. If you saw Sakura, why didn't you give the letter to her? I mean, yeah, you were moving your money, but still.
I think at that moment Sakura wasn't there.
No, she literally said that she saw Sakura.
Oh, it's not at her house.
Yeah.
That she's delivering it to Sakura's house, who might not have been there at the time.
No, I mean, she literally saw Sakura while she was flying over her.
And delivered the letter there?
Yeah, why didn't she just give it to Sakura? I mean, yeah, I know that it would place her into the forest. If she knew that was a killing, she wouldn't want to be seen. But even putting the letter there was doing it as well. So if she really was the killer, I wouldn't even tell about the letter at all. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't do that yet. I wasn't in the forest.
Oh, so now that he's dead, the man I love, I can go back. Oh wait, I forgot the letter. I should go ahead and deliver that. It's the dutiful thing to do.
Sorry, every pony.
So that means you admit to stopping off at Zikora's at some point in order to drop off this letter?
Yes, that's correct.
And when did you make that stop then?
It was after I'd placed the body at the ruins. That's also when I removed the letter opener and put it back in my bag. After that, I went to deliver the letter.
Wait. Let me see this letter again. This envelope. Does it have any blood on it? You placed the bloody knife into the bag where the letter was. You are not gonna tell me that the envelope didn't get any blood on it.
I see. Could you add that to the end of your testimony for me, please?
Oh, sure.
Let's move on. Witness, you moved the body and delivered the letter. Did you mean to leave the forest afterwards?
Yes, I did, but...
What?
While flying over the crossroads, I saw Scootaloo crash into the other royal order. After she left, I moved the scooter and wagon to further shift the blame.
But why, though? Why go so far to pin the blame on Scootaloo? To be honest, Sugar Stamp, even after everything you told us, I still find it hard to believe that you'd go that far. I mean, I thought you loved kids.
Yeah, she is acting so strangely so close to kids. Like, oh yeah, I will give you a candy because you answered the question right. It's as if she was actually the teacher, not the mom. What if they are swapped? What if the father ocean is actually the letter elevator and she is a teacher?
I don't think you'd do something like that to any pony, let alone Scootaloo.
It doesn't matter what you think. I did it, and I confessed, and that's that.
Then, why did you decide to move the body and Scooter to the castle ruins in the first place?
It was because of what I saw before I met with Royal Order. The children talking.
The blackmail deal?
Knowing that Turning Page and his friend had been at the castle ruins, I knew I could pin the murder on them and make the ruins look like the real murder scene. It's what Royal Order deserved after what he did to me.
But...
Defense. While I appreciate your habit of needling into every single minor point in each testimony, my patience is beginning to wear thin. Besides, the witness has already provided a reason for what she did. To get back at Royal Order for choosing to clone himself instead of being with her.
He said, no, he chose to clone himself to be with her. I mean, how they actually said it, that he was gonna send the clone to be with her. This is the problem, right?
Yeah, a lot of their argument sounds absurd. A clumsy attempt to cover a lie.
This actually sounds like that he actually chose to be with his family. And I'm gonna send the clone to you. So you can stop bothering me.
As disconcerting as that may sound, that is the motive we have been given. Unless you can offer something to refute or change it, I suggest you move on.
Running around. That is the motive we have been given. That is not the true motive, we know it very well, but that is what has been given.
Fine. I just have one more question, Sugar Stamp.
What is it?
After you'd moved the scooter and wagon to the castle ruins, you must have flown back towards the forest entrance, passing over the crossroads along the way. But the other Royal Order wasn't there, right?
No, he wasn't. I went to look for him, and that was when I saw what happened at the statue.
Huh?
And you saw Sweetie Bow trip Royal Order, supposedly. That still bothers me. But unless I can prove that that isn't what she saw, this won't get me anywhere. And Luna knows it.
Let's return to the witness testimony.
As for what I did at the castle before I saw the crash, I removed the letter opener and put it in my bag. Then I went to deliver the letter.
Objection! Miss Sugar Stamp! You're saying that you removed the letter opener, the one that had been stemming the blood flow from the victim's wound, from the body and placed it in your bag? And you did this before you delivered the letter?
Yes. Why? Is there something wrong?
Yeah.
You bet there's something wrong with that statement. There's a clear contradiction.
A contradiction?
On what grounds, defense?
Once again, in this, not only the one who is talking, who is more important. Everyone else. Look at fan emotion. She's fuming.
Contradiction?
On what grounds?
And made me scared a
the
bit.
witness clearly described her actions that night. She killed Royal Order, disposed of his armor, and moved the body, letter opener and all, to the castle. All to pin the crime on Turning Page and Scootaloo.
So yeah, this is the problem here. As I said, Sugar Stamp had no reason to kill Royal Order at all.
Or frame Scootaloo's Turning Page.
Yeah. The mom had no reason to frame Turning Page. But after learning about what he was doing, through timing and even going as far as killing himself to be with most of them, that's a lot of motivation to kill. Maybe not him. Maybe it was only the clone that he wanted to kill, that she wanted to kill. But You see where I'm going with this.
Afterwards, she flew back to Sakura's hut in order to deliver that letter. I see no contradictions in her movements.
It's not her movements that are contradictory. It's the letter that was in her bag. Or more accurately, the envelope.
The envelope?
Sugarstamp said she'd placed the letter opener in her bag after she'd moved the body, and that after doing so, she went to deliver the letter.
And we know she didn't wipe the knife at all, because it was still bloody.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yes,
that's
leading to the
case,
point you said earlier.
we can reasonably assume that the letter, or rather the envelope containing it, was also in her bag.
The problem is, now that I think about that she really had the knife in her bag. So either she really stabbed the dead body, or it was a fan emotion who stabbed it and then gave it to her. So they met up. There might have been a confrontation about what happened.
But if that's the case, then we'd expect to see something else. After all, look at the inside of the bag. It's coated in blood from the weapon. Yet, when we look at the envelope, there's not a single trace of blood.
Objection! If that's the contradiction defense, color me not impressed in the slightest. The witness could have simply gotten the time she delivered the letter mixed up.
No?
Yes, that's it. I must have delivered the letter before I took out the letter opener from the body. So before I arrived at the castle ruins.
Objection!
No, you can't do that because the girl was still home. You just mentioned it that she was leaving her hut. He would have gotten the letter. But we know that it was still in her hut. In her post, in her mail.
Sorry, but that just isn't possible.
What? Explain, defense.
Do you remember what we uncovered yesterday regarding when the letter was delivered? First, the fact that we found this letter in the first place tells us that Sakura hadn't yet retrieved it. According to a friend of hers, Sakura would have collected her mail from earlier that day as soon as it was delivered. This tells us that on the day of the murder, this letter wasn't in the mailbox. If it was, Sakura would have collected it when she returned to her hut that night.
Then when, pray tell, was it delivered?
That leads me to my second point, Prosecutor Luna. When we found this letter yesterday, we also found the mail that had been delivered that morning. That mail was in far better condition than this letter. So this letter must have been delivered before yesterday's mail and gotten dirtied as a result. Knowing that, and knowing that it hadn't been in the mailbox when Sakura returned to her hut, we can conclude that this letter arrived on the night of the murder itself.
This actually proves that she had the knife put in her bag a lot later. Yeah, it was definitely not Sugarstamp. She had nothing to do with the murder itself.
Why, yes. I actually do recall that.
Are you surprised or something?
It was established that the letter could only have arrived that night and not any time prior, wasn't it?
Right. But if you'll also recall, Sakura testified that she'd waited for Scootaloo and Turning Page to return for about half an hour, from 9:45 to 10:10 p.m. By 10:15, she had returned to her hut and was just about to turn in. She heard a clanging sound, so she went out to investigate.
Furthermore, we also learned yesterday that Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon also heard a clanging sound at the exact same time, 10:15.
Yep.
10:15 was when Sugarstamp killed Royal Order. She said she did so by kicking him hard in the side to stagger him, then stabbing him in the head. Her kicking him made a loud, metallic sound,
which was most likely the clang that Zecora, Diamond Tiara, and Silver Spoon heard.
Therefore, the murder occurred right before Zecora left her hut, meaning that the letter could only have been delivered after she left, not before. Thus, the letter would have been in the bag with the bloody letter opener, rendering the idea that the envelope got no traces of blood on it impossible.
Oh, indeed. But then, why does no blood exist on the envelope?
Defense! You don't mean to say...
I do, Prosecutor Luna. Your Honor, we agree that it's impossible for there to be no blood on this envelope, correct?
Yes, I find it a perplexing situation.
Yeah, but there is some kind of shadow on the bottom part. They call it blood, but...
True. And one that we can solve if we just consider one other possibility. At the time that the letter was in the bag, the letter opener did not have any blood on it at any point.
It didn't have any blood on it? But how can that be?
Because of one simple fact. The letter opener was not used to kill Royal Order. It's just a fabricated piece of evidence used to support Sugarstamp's story.
Oh yeah, now that I think about this. There was a pool of blood at the statue. She could have easily put the knife into it and, oh yeah, it's bloody.
What?
And if that's the case, then Sugarstamp's confession about her killing Royal Order and pinning the blame on the kids.
Exactly. Her confession is a complete and utter fabrication in and of itself.
Order! Order in the court! Miss Sykes, this is astounding! You mean to say that this witness has been lying to the court this whole time?
Yup.
I am, Your Honor.
Very much so.
Defense! That is absolutely preposterous of you to claim. Need I remind you that the blood found on the letter opener matched Royal Orders?
Yeah, obviously.
Only have gotten there when the witness stabbed him with it.
No.
That doesn't explain why the envelope has no blood on it. So long as that contradiction exists, we cannot accept the letter opener was the murder weapon.
I'm inclined to agree, Prosecutor Luna. The when is not as important as the why here.
Then perhaps we need to clarify both questions.
Huh?
What do you mean?
Your Honor, I believe now would be a good time for us to re-summon the lead detective, Private Eye, to the stand. He should be able to clarify once and for all these details surrounding the letter opener and the blood found on it.
Yes, that would make sense. Very well. Let Private Eye back onto the witness stand, please.
He is very much not amused.
Nervous, as expected.
Forgive me, my lord, but for what reason have I been summoned?
Prosecutor Luna has requested that you provide testimony.
She has? About what?
We would like you to testify regarding the forensics surrounding the murder weapon, the letter opener. The Golden Pixie has suggested that it cannot be the murder weapon. You are to demonstrate why it must be, Detective.
I see. Very well. If it would please the court.
Oh, this is simple. Pause it. I think Luna's only trying to establish that his blood is on the weapon.
Yeah.
But that does not establish when it occurred. He was already dead, and the blood was put in the blood after he was dead.
Yeah.
Just because it has his blood doesn't prove it was the murder weapon.
Yeah, Luna has to prove that it had to be Putin while he was being killed.
Yep. I think all she's going to establish is his blood was on the weapon. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's why it's not about the weapon. We cannot conclude.
Truthfully, it's a rather open and shut matter. The blood found on the letter opener belonged to the victim, meaning it must be the murder weapon.
No, it doesn't mean that.
More than that, though, if you take a look at the head wound, you'll find that it matches the shape of the letter opener.
Wait, so if I put my blood on any kind of knife and then put it on the table, oh, it's a murder weapon. I'm dead.
Actually, here, that part right there in the sentence is actually important. Royal Order, by some means, was already dead. Now
Yeah.
they want to establish the letter opener as the fake weapon. So stab in the head for real, which gets the blood on the weapon and makes it match the wound. But it was created after he was dead.
Yeah, but there's multiple stab wounds. That is a problem.
The helmet was found at the river's mouth of Froggy Bottom Bog. It has a hole matching the size of the weapon, further supporting Miss Sugarstamp's testimony. If it's all a lie, then the blood, wound, and helmet would all have to be some sort of fabrication.
The helmet, no. If what Vanderwasher said, that he has been stabbed to the mouth, and the statue part literally went through his hand and stabbed to the helmet, it would be the same shape. Still.
You see, Golden Pixie? The facts are irrefutable. No matter how you look at it, that letter opener is the murder weapon, meaning Sugar Stamp is the true killer.
Yeah, just like Scooter is actually the killer weapon, right? That is literally the same thing what happened with that.
I'm not so sure about that, Prosecutor Luna. We've already established her testimony is suspect at best. Wouldn't it be wrong of us to assume all the supposed facts are irrefutable?
So you still intend to go down this route?
Yep.
I do.
I see.
Thank you for your testimony, Detective. Defense, you may begin your cross-examination.
Both the hole in the helmet and the wound match the letter opener, and the blood matches the victim's.
Yeah, the problem is that the wound not only matched the letter opener, but 7 other items in the whole scene.
So, if the letter opener is fake evidence, how would all of that be possible? There's only one thing I can think of.
How to prove it, though?
Truthfully,
We're saying that the item was used after he was dead. I think the challenge here is to prove that's the case, that it occurred later. He died first.
No, the real question is, why does she have it? Because if she did not kill him, because that's all we are referring to, we are going towards that she might not even met him while he was alive. Because I'm pretty sure that Father Motion was the one who did the killing at that point. And she never knew her.
Open and shut matter. The blood found on the letter opener belonged to the victim, meaning it must be the murder weapon.
How do we know for certain the blood belonged to the victim?
I mean, that's
Because,
obvious.
Miss Sykes, several ponies tested it individually. There's no doubting the same consensus being reached by so many.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Surely you knew this already, Golden Pixie. Why are you insisting on this useless prattling?
It's not useless. It's the tried and true method of the Right Anything Agency. Private Eye, the blood may match the victims, but that alone isn't enough to prove that the letter opener is the murder weapon.
I
Yeah?
would agree with that, Miss Sykes. Which is why... More than that, though. If you take a look at the head wound, you'll find that it matches the shape of the letter opener.
So you're saying that the wound's shape matches that of the letter openers? How can you be so certain?
After we found the letter opener in Miss Sugarstamp's bag in Canterlot, along with the blood, we conducted 2 tests.
Ooh.
The first was the blood test, which came back
Oh, yeah.
positive for
Chief
order.
and
The second
blood.
involved examining the wound itself to look for any notable characteristics which might match a certain weapon.
And what were some of those notable characteristics?
One was the presence of track marks found in the victim's head.
Track marks?
Yes, these are the marks that a stabbing weapon, such as a knife, might leave when it is thrust into a body.
Oh.
If the weapon has a distinct styling to it, it'll leave trace impressions. Within the wound, we managed to find several impressions that match those found on the letter opener in Miss Sugarstamp's bag. Along with that, on the outside of the wound, we did not find a hilt impression. The letter opener does not have a hilt, so that is another match, though not quite as substantial as the previous one, admittedly.
I guess that would be pretty indicative of it being the weapon.
No. It only proves that the letter opener has been used to stab him. It doesn't say when. It might be after he died.
Yep.
So that proves the body was actually stabbed with the letter opener. No use trying to debunk that. The question is, when did that happen?
There you
Let's
go.
continue.
Yep.
Detective, what else supports Sugarstamp's confession?
The helmet was found at the river's mouth of Froggy Bottom Bog. It has a hole matching the size of the weapon, further supporting Miss Sugarstamp's testimony.
But only the helmet itself was found, right?
That's correct.
But not the armor. Wouldn't the armor be a stronger contender for supporting her testimony?
It would, but as I understand it, Miss Sugarstamp testified that she disposed of the entire armor set in the river.
Oh, she testified. But did she? Did she put the armor into the river?
Oh yeah, she's lying all over the place. But assuming she's telling the truth, the armor could wash down the river. And some parts of it is very deep.
Yeah, but if she said that, yeah, I put all of it into the river, and you found her, but you would think that, yeah, you are not lying. But what if she only put the helmet in there and hid the armor?
I have an objection to that. So she claims she put the armor in the river.
Yes?
And that's what disposed of it, the river current and the depth. Why not do that to the helmet too?
No, she put the helmet in there as well. That's why it went down to the morgue. The river flows down to the morgue.
Okay, but then they found the helmet and not the armor?
Yes.
Even though both could have been lost for the same reason?
Yes. That is why I think that she is lying, and she hid the armor as well, because it had a kind of indication, like a hoof print, when he was pushed over.
Yeah, okay. The armor reveals evidence of something else. That proves the story wrong. Okay.
So I think that the armor set is still somewhere, maybe even underground or wherever. That's why they didn't find it, because they were searching on the more place.
Given that we found the helmet at the mouth of the river, it seems logical to assume the rest flowed out into the bog and sank.
Which would support Sugar's testimony, but at the same time, it conveniently removes the need to prove definitively that the rest of the armor was there at all. Doesn't it?
The helmet was there, which matches Sugarstamp's testimony, suggesting it's the truth. And if it isn't... If it's all a lie, then the blood, wound, and helmet would all have to be some sort of fabrication.
Yeah, we don't even know if he actually was wearing the armor at all. Now that I think about it. We only know that Yuto sent the helmet on.
That would be odd, to wear just the helmet and nothing else.
Yeah. If he actually fabricated the helmet as well, that, oh yeah, he's a real god. Obviously he would wear the helmet and the armor, but they only found the helmet.
Sounds about as ridiculous as going out naked except for underwear and boots.
I mean, don't say anything about that. There are probably some people who do that. But yeah, I didn't think about that. It might be all a lie to begin with.
Some sort of fabrication, you say? I assume you don't mean that the helmet would have to be fake.
No, that would be a bit
No,
much.
it's a real helmet.
I suppose I mean that some other aspect of it would have to be fabricated, if not the helmet itself.
Some other aspect?
Wait, no. Even the helmet was not worn. If you think about that. If they actually wanted to say that, oh yeah, this is the killer weapon, then they would actually just have the helmet as well. And put it in a place where the inspectors would absolutely find it. Like in the river.
Like, say...
Oh, by the way, Posit, if they were able to examine the wound of Royal Order, then it definitely confirms they have at least one corpse. For sure, that one died.
Yeah. One of them definitely died, we know that.
The fate of the other is unknown, though. It looks like there's so many in the Timberwolves ate them.
Once again, if there is other at all.
Found? Or perhaps more specifically, how it was brought to where it was found?
I suppose that could be one way, yes.
Golden Pixie! Don't tell me you're suggesting...
Yep.
So you admit it could be a possibility, Detective? Instead of getting there by river, that helmet could have been carried to the scene and placed there?
No, that's quite impossible, Miss Sykes.
Why?
Oh? And why would that be?
The bog itself, where the helmet was found, was not considered relevant until the end of the previous trial. It was sealed off once that was determined. For some pony to have brought it there for us to find, they would have had to bypass that seal. An impossibility, I'm afraid.
Unless the somebody is within the investigation team. Like someone with higher ranking, like an equity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Private Eye, could you amend your testimony and add what you just said?
Certainly, Miss Sykes. No one knew the bog was related to the crime scene until the previous trial, after which it was sealed off. No pony could have entered to plant the helmet.
Objection! Private Eye, I'm sorry to say that you're completely wrong about that last statement.
Is that so?
It's true that the bog was sealed off at the end of the previous trial, but it's not true that no pony could have gotten in. One pony in particular would have had access to the scene, and by having access, they would have had the chance to bring the helmet there to plant it, all in order to support Sugarstamp's testimony.
You don't mean...
Miss Sykes?
Wait. Is she indicating Luna?
No, probably.
Who could this
Probably the
pony
person
be?
securing the scene. The person who's supposed to prevent others from entering the scene is the one who planted it.
Ah.
There's only
The
one
security
answer,
officer,
Your Honor.
basically.
It's the pony who ordered that the bog be sealed off in the first place.
Private Eye?
Oh.
Order! 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 Ugh. Miss Sykes, I am starting to get tired of these repeated accusations towards every witness.
As am I, Your Honor. Not only is this a reckless act, it is completely impossible.
I mean, in a sense, the canvas is fully true. Any pony ass putting the helmet on there is impossible. Because he just said that it was so low. But on the other side, he was not here. He was called back.
But wouldn't the lieutenant of the guards have access to that place too?
Wait. I just realized something. He was called back by equity, right? I think he was called by equity. So, in a sense, we are right that it was equity putting the thing. But he was using private eye to do the deed.
Why is that, Prosecutor Luna?
You claim that the detective brought the helmet to the bog himself. How? His fellow officers were on the scene. They would no doubt have noticed if he'd brought the helmet with him.
That's true. They would have been able to notice. But what if they had no reason to? No reason to think he was carrying the helmet with him.
What are you blabbering on about, Defense?
When Private Eye and his team went to the scene, he had in his possession something that he could have used to conceal the helmet.
Yeah, he had a hat on.
Take that!
The victim's travel case?
I disagree. I'm pretty sure that metal helmet would not fit in a travel case on that side at all.
Private was the one who brought this case to the scene that day. He ordered that the forest be sealed off and opened only when he arrived. Meaning, Private Eye could have easily stashed the helmet inside this case prior to arriving at the forest, bringing it along with no one the wiser.
This is absurd!
If it's so absurd, then let's ask the witness himself.
What in Equestria do you want me to say?
Say yes or no?
Why don't you repeat to the court your actions in the force that day, including when you had the travel case with you? That should clear everything up. Not going to? That's fine. I think I've got a good enough handle on your movements to describe what you did. You and your team of investigators first went to the bog. You had the travel case with you because you had taken it from the police station after we requested to see it. Once you got it, you stashed the helmet inside. When you arrived at the bog, and while your team was busy investigating, you planted the helmet at the mouth of the river so that it would be found later. Then, you and your team went into the mirror pool cavern. You placed the travel case there, open on the cave floor, to show us when we arrived. That's how the helmet ended up being planted, and how, as you said, it was a fabrication. And that means that it no longer supports Sugar Stamp's testimony, which itself can now also be considered a complete fabrication.
And now, I think I have a reason why. I really wanted this case to be closed off super fast. Luna as well. To begin with. But, we know something that they didn't know in the beginning. That her order was supposed to be the next Supreme Guardian, or whatever they call the
next Captain Guard.
Captain Guard, yeah. And they tried to hide this from us. So there is some kind of power cycle that was supposed
Except
to
for
be.
maybe Equity. She's the only one that might have a motive against the rest of the team here.
Yeah? But Equity
But
has.
everyone, but look at what the results of what's going on here. Everyone seems to be trying to cover the same story, except for maybe Equity. Sugar Stamp is lying. The Fair Devotion is lying. Sweetie Belle is at least staying silent. I think she lied too. Luna is attempting to lead the case in a certain direction, and now Private Eye, his friend, is involved.
Yeah.
All of these ponies, every single one of them, had no reason to kill Royal Order, so he is not dead. But they're lying about the fact he is dead for some reason to somehow protect him.
Yeah, this is what I went into as well, that he might be alive, and the only one that was a clone.
The only one who might actually want him dead is Equity, because he's kind of in the way of her promotion.
Is she? Does she even want to be the captain?
She might have thought she would make a better for that position than this other guy who's looked upon more favorably than her.
I mean, we will see, but I'm pretty sure that is a secret here, and the real Royal Order is alive.
But we'll go back to what I said earlier. If all of these ponies are lying, but are also friends with Royal Order, then their motive must be united too.
Yep. And this is why Sweetie Belle is so calm as well. She might even know that he's still alive, and everything as what will happen is gonna be just temporary. When they are gonna be like, okay, by the way, everything that happened in this trial non-existent because he's alive. This was just to make any enemies believe that he's dead.
Given these facts, I think it's actually the clone that's dead.
Yeah, there's definitely one clone dead. Because we have seen a body.
As a matter of fact, what if Royal Order is in on it too? That he was not trying to, double date someone. And everyone's in on it because they knew he was going to create a clone, probably kill it himself, and then get everyone else to lie about what happened.
Yeah, this
I don't
is
know why, but that's what might be the case here.
And this is what I think, that he is definitely not dating Sugar Stamp as well. They are too close to, too friendly with each other to believe that.
Except for Equity.
Yeah. That might be actually...
She's the one pony here that encouraged dig deeper. All these ponies are maybe lying to you. Don't trust anyone.
Or there is some pony else who we have not seen yet. And that is on it as well.
Yeah, I can only evaluate the ponies that are in the case so far.
So far, everyone, or every pony, is involved in this case. And they are all lying.
Even the investigator. And he has a motive too. It's his friend. He's trying to defend his friend.
I refuse to accept this defense. There's still one thing you haven't explained. The one thing that your entire theory is predicated on.
One thing?
The blood on the letter opener. All this time you've claimed that it's not the murder weapon. And now you've claimed that his helmet is also fake. If it is fake, how do you explain the blood?
All right, Prosecutor Luna. I've got the evidence that explains that bloodstain right here. Take that!
The blood sample, yeah.
That's... Defense? What is that?
This is a blood sample I requested Private Eye give me while we were waiting in the lobby before today's trial. It contains the blood of the victim, Royal Order. Now, I'd asked Private Eye to get this blood sample in secret. The fact that it's here proves he certainly can conceal his movements. But let me ask this. Where would Private Eye have to go in order to get the blood sample of a deceased murder victim?
Probably wherever the body had been autopsied.
And where would that be, Prosecutor Luna?
Canterlot.
Exactly.
And that's where he was.
A member of the Royal Guard, after all. So Canterlot was where he was undergoing an autopsy. And Canterlot
Was also where Private Eye and his team apprehended Sugarstamp, as well as where they discovered the bloody letter opener.
If
Huh.
he had the helmet with him while in Canterlot and got hold of a letter opener before arresting Sugarstamp, then it would have been possible for him
To put the helmet on the body and stab it with the letter opener, leaving the hole in the helmet and a bloody weapon as proof that she'd killed Royal Order.
And that's why the scene was sealed off until Private Eye returned from Canterlot. It was so he had all the time he needed to fabricate evidence to support Sugarstamp's story.
Objection! Very elaborate, Golden Pixie. So you say that the entirety of Sugarstamp's story is a complete lie? One that our dear detective helped to create?
Question. Does MLP have any kind of truth serum or truth magic?
Who has it?
Mighty Pony, the whole Expressio. Do they have some kind of magic that forces ponies to say the truth?
I've never seen such a thing, but if it exists at all, Zakora could probably fabricate it. And actually, I can think of one other pony, but she's not on the series yet.
Okay. That's enough for me. But yeah, so.
But Mage
it is still a
Meadowbrook could do it
possibility.
too. Mage Meadowbrook was also a very skilled alchemist.
He or she, I don't know, but
She was not in the season yet.
but they were
Including
mentioned. They were mentioned.
Yeah, including when this story was written, they wouldn't consider Mage Meadowbrook.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be dead a long time ago, and in fact, she is in limbo.
I believe that at some episodes, Twilight was reading about that or something like that about her.
It was mentioned in the opening of season 5.
Okay.
I think for the first time then too. That the staff of sameness was made by Mage Meadowbrook, which was a lie.
Oh yeah. So we don't know if it's possible, but there is a possibility.
Of a truth serum?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can think of one who might be able to come up with it, but I don't think this case is going to bring it up.
No, it's not.
Prosecutor
It will make it too easy.
Luna?
Then what of the planner? Doesn't that support the fact that Miss Stamp really did meet with Royal Order that night?
I mean, we only have one person who actually said that. Oh yeah, I actually double checked that it's his handwriting.
Actually, if you're questioning Private Eye's integrity too, and he claimed the handwriting is Royal Order, but he's lying.
Yeah.
About the letter opener anyway, then he could also lie about the fact that that's his handwriting.
Yeah, I would have.
However, if Royal Order is involved himself, then that really could be his handwriting, but he's in on the plan. He's in on the conspiracy.
But yeah, once again, if I was planning something stupid like what he was in this planner, I wouldn't have written down. Remember what I said when we saw this planner? Why would you write down that, oh yeah, I'm gonna show myself so everyone can see when they find my planner?
Well, that's what we've been thinking at least. But something about that planner has been bugging me.
And what is that?
Your Honor, the defense has just proven that the legitimacy of 2 pieces of evidence, the helmet and the letter opener, have to be called into question. In large part, that is because of their association with Private Eye. This planner also shares that characteristic.
It does?
Yep.
Miss Sykes, you mean to say...
You know what? I would actually call to understand his son, Tony Page. I think he is the only one who hasn't been lying at all.
Well,
I mean,
that and one other investigator. Forgot her name, but the one that Rainbow Dash didn't like.
oh yeah,
That pony cooperated with Miss Sykes about getting the blood sample secretly. As a result, she's on the up and up, and she's not in on the conspiracy.
yeah, but
Instead, she's here to really reveal the truth.
yeah, but she doesn't know about his handwriting. But his son definitely knows his handwriting, right? He has to, because they have been
Yeah,
sending letters.
I got her name, but that pony's in the clear. She's not a part of this conspiracy.
Yeah,
The one that Sykes visited last night in secret.
yeah, Sonata.
Correct, Sonata. She's innocent.
But that would mean...
And the writing in the journal matches royal orders. I checked and double-checked that one personally.
Your Honor, this planner did not undergo testing by an entire forensic team.
Only one pony.
It has been tested by only one pony. Private Eye himself.
My word.
Your Honor, at this time, I do not think we can trust this witness's words as to the legitimacy of all the pieces of evidence he's handled. As such, the defense requests that the planner be retested immediately, and the horn writing inside be compared to that of both Royal Order and Private Eye.
I agree. That is definitely the best course of action. Prosecutor Luna, do you have any objections?
She can't do anything.
In that case, the court's adjourned until.
Yep.
What? I mean... The
Like I said, she's in on it.
has no objections to the defense's request, Your Honor.
This is not the results Luna wanted. She knows what the truth is, though.
I'm not fully sure if she knows. She might actually believe something else.
She keeps on acting as if she's hiding something, too, which was clear since the last case. No, she knows exactly what happened, and she's lying, too.
Yep, it might be.
But consider the motive again. She's not a bad pony. Neither is Private Eye. Neither there is probably not Fair Devotion or Shepherd Sugar Bell, Sweetie Belle. All of them have that in common. So if they are lying, it's for some benevolent reason.
Also, remember one thing she said in the dream? I didn't know if I could trust you. If it was Phyllis Wright who was here, or Twilight Sparkle only, then she would have shared all the information. Maybe she really knows everything.
If Luna is also hiding evidence and she knows what the truth is, in the dream she tried to accuse Fair Devotion or Sugar Stamp.
Yep.
She wanted them to be the target of this case. And also exonerate Sweetie Belle specifically.
But because Athena has actually proven that it is a possibility that they are lying, she can't say that, oh no, I object. No, she can't. Because then she will be called in question as well.
Due to inconsistencies, she's calling Private Eye into question. Therefore, any evidence he's handled personally is also in doubt. So now it needs to be double-checked by a more impartial party.
Like Sonata.
And if they do that, this court's adjourned. They have to wait until the evidence is reevaluated.
I believe there might be a possibility of equity taking over the case in this sentence. Because she is a higher ranking.
Yeah, higher than Luna? No,
no, not Luna, the investigation part.
Oh, for takeover for Private Eye then?
Yes.
Alright. Oh yeah, that might happen.
Besides that, Sonata or her, no one else. Nobody else, I think. But they have to re-investigate everything.
That's our job, though, for equity. The ones that is the job to do that is forensics team. Unnamed ponies, really, in the story.
I mean, yeah, for that, but they do have to check the whole forest
Equity is
again.
in charge of security, not forensics.
For all we know, even the blood and the statue might be planted as well.
Yeah, that's a possibility too.
Very well. Bailiff, see to it that the planner be retested. Well then, Prosecutor Luna, have the planner and Horn...
You're skipping to the moment after it's been tested.
Immediate testing?
Yeah. This might have been 10 minutes later or something.
And what are the results?
The horn writing in the planner?
This is... Yeah.
Does not match that of royal order, but rather that of private eye.
That side-eye actually makes me think that Luna might not have known.
Hold on. I don't understand his surprise. If he knows he wrote the letter, and he knows it's being tested now by an impartial party, why be surprised at the results unless he's faking being surprised?
Or he is surprised that Luna is not covering for him.
Here's one other reason of potentially he is surprised. As a matter of fact, Private Eye didn't write the letter either. He's now being Frank. That's not likely. He's the most likely culprit to plant the evidence like the helmet.
I mean, no, it could be it's either him or Royal. There's no possibility between because he said he double checked it. So it's either he wrote it or Royal wrote it. There's no in between.
And by the way, whoever tested the planner now, the other forensics team, unless they are in it too, God, if that's true, this is a very wide conspiracy.
Yeah.
Does not match that of royal order, but rather that of private eye.
There you have it, Your Honor. Definitive proof that not only did Private Eye tamper with the facts of this case, but also that Sugar Stamp's story cannot be taken as the truth.
Witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
Well, now, that is,
That is, I have been working on the higher orders and I can't see anything else about that. That is what he was gonna say.
Once you establish that, now you need motive. Who said hold it?
Ah! This fan devotion.
You are as persistent now as you were yesterday, Miss Sykes. It's almost admirable.
Almost? What's with her all of a sudden? She seems colder.
Your Honor, I think I can explain, at the very least, why Sugar Stamp's story has so many problems with it.
You can?
But how? The defense has just proven that it's all a lie.
It's not a lie, Your Honor, but I do believe that it's a story affected by all the events of that night.
Affected by...
I'm sure I don't have to point out that seeing the murder was a traumatic experience for all of those involved. Sugar...
She's really talking about that. Yeah, I can explain everything. Seeing the murder take place is very traumatizing, but there hasn't been any murder. Actually.
Sugar Stamp may not be able to remember all of the details clearly, such as the actual weapon she used to commit the crime.
It's true that my memory of that night is a little fuzzy, but I remember one thing for certain. I killed Royal Order. I know I did.
Yes. I suppose that it is reasonable to assume some degree of memory loss occurred.
Oh god. They are pulling the PTSD card.
I can also explain the detective's actions, though he'd need to see if I am correct.
I would.
Private Eye must have known of Sugar's guilt, but aside from her confession, he did not have the right amount of evidence to support it. With no way to prove her guilt, he decided he would have to take matters into his own hooves. And that's why...
I see. My lord.
Yes, detective?
It pains me to have to admit this, but what Miss Devotion has just postulated...
Fair Devotion is masterminding all of this.
Yeah,
she's the source of the conspiracy.
I am
She's the
starting to
one
think
most
that...
determined to cover the truth.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that she is not an elementary teacher at all. She might be the mastermind behind all of this fake killing.
She's the one bossing everyone around, including her son, by the way, who was more willing, to be honest.
Yup. She might actually be a Royal Guard captain, for all we know.
Was indeed my thought process.
What? So you're saying...
You're really saying...
It's true. Every word. I confess. I planted the helmet and fabricated the weapon, as the defense stated. This was done for 2 reasons. To bring justice to Royal Order, and to prove the guilt of the true killer.
Also, I don't know if you see, what happened to Lyra's face? Poor Lyra. In the audience, half of her face had been blurred for some reason.
Does this video allow you to share where your mouse pointer?
I don't know. On my side, you might actually see my face cam. She's in the top corner, by the way.
Oh yeah, I see her, but not your mouse pointer so far.
It might be because of YouTube as well, but for some reason, half of her face became blurred.
Go ahead.
Sugar stamp.
This is a rather unprecedented series of events, I must admit. But where does it leave us?
Nowhere?
Your Honor,
It leaves us nowhere,
Yep.
defense.
Huh? What do you mean?
All this while, you have been focusing your efforts on trying to disprove Sugarstamp's confession. What we've just heard from both Fair Devotion and Private Eye, however, discounts your entire premise. We're back where we started.
Yeah, but you have no evidence of what the killer weapon is. Or anything.
As a matter of fact, we already have evidence that they're unreliable witnesses, so why believe them now?
Yeah.
But...
More than that, though, we've gone off on a completely separate tangent thanks to your antics. Need I remind you what this trial is about?
Yeah.
This trial.
This trial is about
Sugarstamp
Sweetie
may
Man.
have indeed confessed to killing Royal Order, but we are not here to determine her guilt on the matter. Today we are here to determine the guilt of Miss Sweetiebelle in regards to her own crime. You should attempt to focus on that, and not this other matter.
Prosecutor Luna raises a fair point. This trial is about the alleged murder of royal order by Miss Sweetiebelle. And as such, we must focus on that case before diving into another.
No, I know Sugarstamp's confession is a complete sham. And I know that her previous testimony can't be trusted, especially if it's reliant on her phony confession. But how can I demonstrate that definitively if Fair Devotion and Private Eye have now testified in support of what she said?
Defense?
Was it? Well, no, the other case is too relevant because if they can't be trusted as witnesses, everything they say about Sweetiebelle is also not to be trusted.
Yup. Indeed. But the problem is that Sweetiebelle is not saying anything because of the silence. That is the big problem here.
In order to be silent.
But here's the thing. We know what happened. We know about the Timberwolves. And we can prove with that yeah, Sweetiebelle might be able to push her order, but she had no reason to.
Yeah,
There's
she
no
Sweetie
motive.
was wounded and needed the potion to heal it. In order to help bandage the wound, she used parts from the Timberwolves, thereby proving Timberwolves were involved.
Yup.
It's only a small piece of evidence, but it's there.
And also, wait. If there are no, we can actually check the wound. It might be healed thanks to the healing potion, but there is still a fresh healing wound there. So, other than her.
Yes, Prosecutor Luna?
You appear to be at a loss.
Is it really that obvious?
No.
Perhaps you and the court would benefit from a quick refresher.
Proceed, Prosecutor Luna.
Thus far, we have heard testimony from two witnesses, Fair Devotion and Sugarstamp.
Yeah.
They claim to have witnessed the defendant accidentally kill Royal Order at the statue. We have also heard the reason why there were two Royal Orders that night. It was because of the affair he was having with Sugarstamp.
Also, think about it. I said that, oh yeah, the statue went through his head and that's what made the hole in the helmet as well. But now we know that the hole was created afterwards to freak out. So he was not wearing the armor at all. Wait, no. He had to wear the armor.
Her whole recap is based on evidence that's now suspect.
Yup.
This recap's kind of pointless.
Wait, then there had to be two armor sets. Oh wait, no. Yes, there had to be two armor sets. They had to wear at least the armor part because we heard the clang on two sides.
Well, other objects can make a metallic clang sound, potentially.
Earlier, the defense postulated that this affair may have been part of why Fair Devotion decided to venture into the Everfree Forest after her husband. That matter has not been settled, however, due to the defense attacking Sugarstamp's confession and questioning its legitimacy. For us to get back on track, then, we should focus on these witnesses' initial testimonies once more. And perhaps more specifically, we should focus on Miss Fair Devotion's testimony. Does that sound reasonable, defense?
Oh, I see where this is going. Surely the defense isn't about to name me a suspect because of this affair, and discredit my testimony all to save her own client.
I mean, you are the only one with the motive here. No, the only thing that might actually have happened that she actually saw Sugar Stamp in this moment, not Sweetie Man. And she might actually have amnesia, but I don't think that's what happened.
Is she?
It's not just Luna anymore. Now Fair is trying to guide me as well. But to have me name her a suspect... Why? Twilight, do you have any idea what we should do?
Well, I mean, it seems like we need to hear more testimony in order to back up our claim again. But we can't hear from Sugar Stamp since she'll just double down on her confession. And Private Eye's already confessed to planting evidence to support her confession, because he believes it to be true.
So that's found emotion.
Further testimony about what Sugar Stamp supposedly did wouldn't help us. The witnesses or the prosecution could easily back up her confession.
Right. So, maybe if we heard testimony about something else that happened that night? From some pony else?
It has to be Sweetie Man. He's the only one who can see herself.
Something from some pony...
And also that would actually prove that they are lying. Because they didn't see anything about anything werewolf at all.
else?
Yeah, and if I understand what Princess Luna's trying to do, she'd want us to hear from Fair Devotion.
Right.
What's wrong, Athena? I mean, it does make the most amount of sense, doesn't it?
It does, but I'm still not sure that's the right step to take. There's still something off about Fair Devotion. I can't place my finger on it, but it's enough to make me hesitant to follow Luna's suggestion.
Well, what else can we do? This seems like the only course of action we have left.
No, it's not.
And Princess Luna's trying to grant us as many chances as she can to help Sweetie Belle.
Sweetie Belle.
There you go.
She's the key to all of this, I'm sure of it. More than Fair Devotion or Sugar Stamp. I need to find a way to get her to speak up.
Defense, the court will have your answer. Will you hear additional testimony from Miss Fair Devotion?
No.
Before I answer that, Your Honor, I'd like to ask the defendant something.
Miss Sykes.
Very well, defense. You may.
Sweetie Belle. After everything we've just heard, is there anything you would like to add? Anything that comes to mind? Still relying on your right to remain silent, I see. Very well then. Your Honor, the defense is ready to declare its next course of action.
You are? Then that means you'd like to hear more testimony from Fair Devotion?
Nope.
No, that's a trap.
I suppose that the defense really...
What?
No, that's a trap. She's just gonna lie.
No, she's not gonna cooperate.
requires more from me.
No, Your Honor, we won't.
Wait, what?
You don't?
What game are you playing now, defense?
Oh, I'm done playing games, Luna. Yours, Fair's, Sweetie's. It doesn't matter anymore. I'll force the truth out, no matter what I have to do. No.
By the way, her little AI thing has never spoken so far.
Nobody here shows her emotion. Like, right now she's angry.
Okay.
In the actual game, it speaks a lot.
Wow. If it just keeps displaying her emotions, then it's going to be an obvious tell for everyone else. Kind of giving them an advantage.
I mean, yeah.
Go ahead.
It's time we finally heard Sweetie's side of this story. And if she won't cooperate willingly, I'll make her. Your Honor, at this point, the defense would like to step down from defending Sweetie Belle.
Oh. That's a trump card. I would.
Athena?
You
Oh, there she spoke.
Yeah, there you go.
Athena!
She has all the right to step down. If the one you are defending not willing to cooperate, you have all the right to step down.
That's what I'd like to know. Miss Sykes, what are you doing?
Have you lost your mind? You can't just step down now!
She can.
Actually, I can, Prosecutor Luna. I retain the right to decide who I defend and who I do not.
But you can't! What's gonna happen to me if you don't defend me?
I'd imagine that you'll be found guilty, thanks to the testimonies of Sugar Stamp and Fair Devotion.
Miss Sykes, don't you think this is a bit rash?
Hey,
Diva's right. You can't just quit now.
why? You said what you said. You two saw her to be guilty, and my client is not defending herself. What can I do? I don't have to be here.
Their real motive is to clear Sweetie Belle's name, and all of them are in on that one.
Yep.
Fair Devotion, you've already testified to
Yeah.
having seen Sweetie Belle accidentally kill Royal Order. The same goes for you too, Sugar Stamp. Neither of you can back out now.
And you can't go back your testimonies.
Athena, you can't do this to Sweetie Belle.
Yes, you can.
Billy, for goodness sake. Have you thought this through at all?
No.
I have, Prosecutor Luna. Believe me. And I can assure you that this is the only way for us to find the truth. The real truth.
Not the fabricated truth that you are presenting right here.
But abandoning her...
If Sweetie Belle is willing to testify, then I'll remain as her defense. But I can't help some pony who won't even help themselves.
Miss Sykes.
Please, Prosecutor Luna. I know this seems reckless of me, but I can assure you, I know what I'm doing. I know this is the way forward. The only way.
Yep.
Please? Trust me.
I will try, Miss Sykes.
Even you, Princess Luna?
I am sorry, little one, but she raises a fair point. And it appears you must make a decision. Either you testify, or the defense formally steps down, and the prosecution does its duty.
Princess Twilight! Please! You gotta help me! Don't let Athena do this!
Now, if you wanna truly traumatize Sweetie Belle, say that, okay. But if she leaves, I have to leave as well. I am only an assistant.
Well,
Okay.
actually, if Athena steps down as defendant, doesn't someone else have to step up and replace her because
No.
she's entitled to a defense?
No?
Why not?
No, because this is in the middle of a trial. If the trial is over, she can call a new one.
Okay.
This is different than in the human world. In real life, you are entitled to one, and you can decide to defend yourself. But here, the defense can just step down anytime.
That law actually might be even more specific than that. That if the defense removes themselves and must be replaced is only true in certain countries. Because they have their own laws.
And especially because in this case, they are not doing this for money. They just accepted, oh yeah, I will defend you because I believe that you are not guilty.
Maybe being accepted for money, but they are getting paid for this, right? Heck,
No.
Luna too.
I mean, they...
Everyone here is working for free?
Wait, Phoenix Wright was paid money in the first trial. But he can't use it in the human world, so...
he's paid in money that he can only spend in Equestria. Which makes sense. That's the only thing they can pay him with. There.
Yeah.
Well, that and treats or snacks or objects, anything of value like that could also be a potential form of payment. Or favors, or land.
Yeah, but what do you do with the land in Equestria while you are living in the human world?
If you want payment that's relevant to the human world, the equestrian money is the least relevant thing, unless it's made of material that's useful in Earth. Such as
Maybe.
potentially gold. What if it's made of gold?
We don't know. We literally don't know what it's made of.
Yeah. That's not relevant to the case, but I'm kind of thinking they're not totally free here, right? Even if they don't care about the payment, they are getting paid.
Yeah, it's basically if they get gold, it's basically more money in
I
human
don't
world.
know if Sykes would continue to be paid though if she actually stepped down from the defense.
No, she still would.
Paid by the hour then, or something like that?
No, I mean, in pretty smart games, believing in your what is it called? In your client is more important than getting paid. To be sure, most of the time they don't even get paid in the games.
Look, yeah. They don't normally have to cover that. It's not typically relevant to the cases.
Yeah, but we know that it is just to lure out people. They don't want to step down.
Yeah, I know, it's a
Twilight,
bluff.
I know what this looks like, but we have to hear from Sweetie Belle somehow. This was the only way I could think of.
Yes, you're right. We have to hear from her.
Does that mean Princess Twilight?
Your Honor, the co-counsel for the defense agrees with this decision. As such, unless Sweetie Belle chooses to testify, the defense will step down.
No. Please, no.
And there is the proof that we are before CMC. There.
Oh, no cutie mark?
Yep.
That did occur in season 5, so that vent also didn't happen yet. Alright.
Indeed. I mean, this is why Diamantio and Silverspoon were still blackmailing, so...
Oh, yeah, that's true too. She wouldn't be reformed yet.
Please, no.
This is all rather unconventional.
These are unconventional times, Your Honor. And sometimes they call for unconventional methods.
So they do. Very well. The court accepts the defense's decision to step down.
No, Sweetie Belle may talk. He has to.
Fine. I'll do it. I'll testify.
Are we gonna get it?
Miss Sykes, I
Well,
take it this means you will continue on as the
what if
defendant's
she
lawyer?
doesn't tell the truth?
It seems we are very close to that, by the way, so we might actually get the testimony of Sweetie Belle later.
Yeah. That's a bit of meta-knowledge, but yeah, it's probably the case. Let's continue.
I will, Your Honor.
Duly noted. Now, Prosecutor Luna, do you have any objections to hearing the defendant testify?
I do not, Your Honor.
Good. In which case, I call for a 20-minute recess to allow all parties to prepare themselves.
Judge, you mean like 5 days or 6 days? Because that's gonna be for us, the recess.
Oh. Yeah, this is why the episode's concluding soon.
Yeah, soon.
Adjourned for the moment.
When we reconvene, we will hear Sweetie Belle's testimony.
And hope you don't regret it.
Court is adjourned.
thing is, if they get the truth out of her, they'll also reveal why they were trying to conceal this stuff, and that could be a problem.
I'm trying to think this might be fan devotion, right?
Somehow getting closer to the truth is a bad thing because everyone is covering and creating this lie are good ponies. So there may be a problem about reaching the truth here. Until they get to the deeper truth that even they are unaware of.
Yeah, they might have not told everything.
Those who are lying about the case may think a certain thing, and it turns out even that's not true.
Yeah, this is the end. I just checked.
Then what's the rest of the video? Just credits?
Yeah, just credits, but I'm not gonna play the night song in there, which is problematic for YouTube.
Understood. Well, if you play it at all, you can play it muted, but you don't have to. The video is available for anyone who wants to see the credits if they want to.
I mean, you should actually watch it on your own in
Me?
on YouTube. Not you, but everyone who is here.
Other viewers of your video? Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot we have probably skipped through. You might actually already know who the killer is. We don't. We don't know anything about it. It could still be anyone.
So while watching this video, if anyone does, they get to hear our thought process during the case.
Yeah, so next time it's gonna be where Sweetie Pie is gonna tell us, oh yeah, Timberwolves.
I'm still not sure if she'll tell the truth, but she's at least willing to talk.
I mean, that's still... She has to tell the truth because she knows now that both Twilight and Athena will step down if she doesn't.
Come to think of it, that recess gives them a chance to fabricate a new story. If they ever isolate Sweetie Belle away from the defense, then they have a chance to tell her to lie about something else that somehow supports whatever their agenda is.
Yeah, they might, but I don't believe she... I believe that she will tell the truth. Not everything. She might be forgetting something, but...
If that happens, according to the judge, they have 20 minutes to do it.
Yeah. But for us, they have a lot more time because tomorrow we will be going back to the reading session.
Yep.
For a while. But yeah. It's so strange that we have done literally nothing. We learned that Private Eye was falsifying evidences. That's all. That is not all we learned. And fan emotion is basically kind of a mastermind behind all of this.
Suppose that is the falsified evidence is the most established thing here in this particular case.
So it's strange that we are actually watching a play that was literally scripted by fan devotion or by Luna. But just like in D&D, the player is the one who is narrating the entire session, who is Athena. That's why they couldn't get to the end of the trial. Because all Athena had to do was follow the script, and then that would get Switchman get out of jail free card. And probably push Sugar Man into the prison.
Sugar Stamp.
Yep. They wanted to get her indicated for some reason.
That's right. It's the one they're trying to get accused.
Yeah. I still don't know where this is going, but once again, we most came to the conclusion that Rhea Orta is still alive. Right? We most believe that.
Yeah, he might be, or just something about him that the rest of those friends, mind you, that's what they are, the friends of him, are covering. Um, except for that lieutenant,
Yup.
maybe.
And she is right that Luna is not sharing anything with us, and that is why Athena is going arrested. Maybe if Luna would have told Athena what she is studying, like the truth, then he might have met with the flow. But yeah, I think that's a good stopping point right here. We still don't know anything, there's still a lot to uncover, and there's, let's see, 4.5 hours left of this case. That's a lot.
In the next episode, or in total between all of them?
No, it's total.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know when the next episode is gonna be. But now we are gonna leave, and tomorrow we are gonna get a raining continuation with more than 6. And I will probably go and make some food and then start editing the video that we recorded in the morning. Which is episode 13 of season 9. But yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.